I'm Davy. I'm awesome. Welcome to Davy's Awesome Wrestling, wherever you get wrestling and other things, all from the perspective of a fan, not an insider. Now, a few weeks ago, I pitted NXT's championships versus AAA's championships. Whereas WWE now owns AAA and they've done a Worlds Collide together, what's happening on a weekly basis on both shows is NXT and TNA. So, me being the belt mark I am, I'm going to pit TNA's championships against NXT's. So here we go. Another belt battle. First, the criteria, like I always point out, none of this in any way, shape, or form has anything to do with the prestige of each championship. It's simply my opinion on their cosmetic appeal. That's it. These are all going to be categories where I'm going to put one championship against another, and I'm just going to decide which one I personally think is better than the other in that category. We're going to have a different category, though, this time. Normally I do uncategorizable, but I felt we could do a better category than that. First category is Women's Other. I put that because NXT has a Women's Mid-Card, TNA has the Women's Knockouts Tag Team Championships, but as of this moment, TNA does not have a Mid-Card Championship. However, basically the other prize women can go for, if not the world title, is their tag team titles. So, in Women's Other, starting off with NXT, the NXT Women's North American Championship. Talked about it before, I actually really like this one, despite the fact that I'm not a big fan of the men's North American title. I think the color scheme just works better. Like the globe has a red backing instead of black, that helps it pop, and it's on a white strap, so that red in the plates does help it pop against the white strap. Plus, white just works better on this. Not to mention one thing I've mentioned over and over again when this debuted, it showed my theory that the men's North American Championship would look a whole lot better if it was on such a wide strap. This versus the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship. I'm not a big fan of this one. I don't mind red straps too often. Depends on the belt, but with this being a pure nickel title on that red strap, I just don't like it. I don't think it pops. It more just clashes, and only clashes. And a clash should be to make, again, it pop. Make it go like, whoa, look at these plates. But it doesn't. It makes me kind of not want to look at it. So I guess it's kind of easy to say, in the first category of Women's Other, gonna have to give that one to NXT. Starting it off with NXT 1, TNA 0. The next category, the Tag Team Division. In NXT, the NXT Tag Team Championships. I've talked about it before, they're kind of plain, and this has been the design of the Tag Team Championships so long that I'm kind of bored of it. The other titles have gotten revamped a couple of times, but however, I still do like these. I have always liked these. I like the dual plating, the nickel and gold, and I like that they put the gold more towards the strap, so again, pops. Goes look at me here. And this versus the TNA Tag Team Championships, which for basically the same reason as the Knockouts Championships, I never really liked these. It's just a red strap with a pure nickel plate. Looks very similar to the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, but still very distinctly in its own, and I'll give them that, because I'm not a big fan of this whole let's make all the women's championships look exactly like the men's. But I just really felt like this could have done with a little bit of dual plating. It just clashes wrong, in my opinion. So for the second category of Tag Team Championships, gonna have to give that one also to NXT. Making it NXT 2, TNA 0. Now in the lower mid-card category, because when they have more than one mid-card, there's one that is more elevated. For NXT, the NXT Heritage Cup. And I will never stop talking about how I cannot believe that this is their mid-card championship. I don't get it. If they wanted a Heritage Championship, fine, just give us a belt. This is wrestling, they don't compete for trophies. Like when it first debuted as the NXT UK Heritage Cup, I was like, okay, it's a cool looking trophy, I guess. Whatever. But I'm a belt mark, not a trophy mark. And I've talked about it before. I originally thought that the whole concept was just going to be a one-time tournament, maybe a once-a-year tournament, where they get a trophy and cool, but that it became their mid-card championship. And I've also talked about I don't like titles that have to be defended one certain way. Every Heritage Cup match is a British Rounds match. It's kind of like when TNA for a while was doing nothing but triple threats for their X Division Championship. I hated that. Or when they had the TNA Grand Championship where it was defended with MMA rules every time. Hated that. And this gets put against the TNA International Championship, which I will say about this championship, I kind of like it. I just hate the strap. The gold design is actually very nice. Probably could have done with a little dual plating, but still very nice. I do like it. The baby blue strap. Ugh. If this was on a black strap or a red strap, it would probably look 10 times better. The fact that it's on a baby blue strap is the only reason that I can't really say that I really like it. Just, it would look better if it wasn't on that. However, even if this thing was atrocious, it would still win against the Heritage Cup because at least it's a championship belt. So in this category, lower mid card, gonna have to give this one a TNA, making it NXT 2, TNA 1. Then in the upper mid card category, for NXT, the NXT North American Championship. The first one, the men's, that I've never liked. It doesn't pop at all, just clashes. They not only picked a red strap, but kind of ugly shade of red. Like so dark and faded that in some lights it kind of looks brown. It's got that black backing on the globe, which more makes it blend into the strap than pop. And like I said, that huge wide strap, it doesn't look good on anybody. I've talked about it before. I think Triple H was trying to do a throwback to the Big Green Belt, but that was ugly too. This versus the TNA X Division Championship. I will give it this. When it first debuted, I was not happy with it. It has kind of grown on me. Granted, I'm talking more about the actual official version, not the orange strap monstrosity. But the official version, the nickel and the black, I would still say I think I would like this more if it had some dual plating on it, a little bit of gold. But like I said, it has kind of grown on me to the point that I wouldn't say I don't like it, just wouldn't say that I love it. But it's okay. It's definitely better than the North American Championship. So in that category, again, I gotta give it to TNA, making it NXT 2, TNA 2. In the women's world category, the NXT Women's Championship, the current one they have since they moved to the CW network, it looks more inspired by the UFC belts. I like what it replaced. It's definitely better than that, but it's just very plain. There's just not much to it. And one thing I really don't like about it is the shaded gold they used in the dual plating makes it more blend into that white strap than it does pop out. So it kind of gets lost in it a little bit. I've talked about it many times. I'm more of a fan of a black strap, but a white strap in most cases help, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it just, again, everything blends in too much, and that's my issue with the NXT Women's World Championship. Otherwise, it looks fine. It's got the black coloring in there and then the nickel and the gold. But it's just one of those things. It's not the best women's championship they've had. It's just not the worst. That versus the TNA Knockouts Championship. Maybe it's the red coloring and the globes, but this one does not blend in with the strap. The gold on there does pop out enough to where you can distinctly see it. It doesn't blend in. And ultimately, I actually really did like this one from the moment I saw it. This is, in my opinion, the best Knockouts Championship they've had since their inception. Like, even the original one, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But this one, it does definitely work. And honestly, I would say, as much as I usually prefer a black strap, I don't think this one would look better with a black strap. I think it looks perfectly fine with the white strap. So in the category of Women's World, it definitely is going to go to TNA, making it NXT 2, TNA 3. Then the final category, the Men's World. For NXT, the NXT Men's Championship. It's the exact same design as the women's, just on a black strap. And that helps a lot. Because with that black strap, it doesn't blend in so much, it pops more. But I would not say it pops enough. Just more. Again, they should have picked a brighter shade of gold, I guess. Because honestly, a lot of times on TV, it doesn't look like it's gold at all. It looks like it's just pure nickel. But, again, it's better than what it replaced. Versus the TNA World Championship. I wouldn't say this is my favorite TNA World Championship they've ever had, but it was definitely an improvement over the Impact Championship when they became TNA again. It's on a black strap, It's pure gold. I think I could have used a little nickel, but pure gold. Pops really well. The red lettering is cool. Honestly, my only issue with this belt is I don't like that the strap is so shaped like the plates. If it was just kind of like, here's a strap it fits on, here's the plates, I think that would have actually looked a lot better. But it's still a very nice looking championship. Plus, there's just a lot more going on than the NXTs. So, I'm going to have to give this one to TNA. Therefore, NXT 2, TNA 4. Meaning, clear winner is TNA. So on the last 2 belt battles, versus AAA and versus TNA, NXT got their ass whooped. So maybe they should just give NXT some better championships. So there you have it. That's my wrestling review this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications for when I post the videos. And leave a comment I can respond to in my next comment corner. Tell me if you agree with my decisions. Tell me if you disagree. Tell me who you think should have won between TNA and NXT. Love you guys.